Hey guys, it is the Monday Night Family Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh, hey Ryan, how you doing, my friend? We
How
had a
are you
little bit of
doing?
problem.
It's looking beautiful where you are. It's bright and sunny, and I've got the
Yeah, it
moonlight
wasn't
sky
it
on me.
it it wasn't sunny 10 minutes ago. We had a power shortage. Um,
Yeah, I can imagine.
that's what you get with the winter.
Yeah, you had a power shortage.
Yeah, we did. Or we had a technical problem.
Yeah,
We won't call it a power shortage. It's a technical problem.
yeah, we know what the problem was. We know what it is. Hey, David Gracie. Hello, Michael Peebler. Michael Vanderyak says, "Good evening and Merry Christmas." Well, it's not Christmas yet, but it's fairly close. Again, guys, this is the
Sure.
Monday Night Family Show, and this show always works best when you participate. If you guys put in a good participation, we will keep the show going. If it's a slow participation, we'll cut the show early. Either way, uh, we talk pigeons, anything related to pigeons, and sometimes we get even off the subject of pigeons, but that's okay. That's what makes our show so great. Oh, anyways, before I want to get into this, people, I don't know. We're doing the Pigeon Boss Awards, and these awards, guys. Give me every result you got. I'm gonna put all the results into a hat and draw it out. Whoever the top three names that get drawn are gonna win some cash for these. But you got to send me the results. People aren't sending results because they don't think they have the best result. This is. I'm gonna tell you something. I can't figure out people. We bring you great pigeons. We do. We bring you great pigeons. You get a result, send it in. All year long now, you're going to send it in. Every time you get a result with one of the pigeons down from our birds, you're going to send it in. And we're going to put all these results, we're going to put them into every time you send us a result, your name goes into the hat. Your name goes into the hat. That's how it's going to go. Then this way, when we do the cash prize draws, you're going to have an opportunity to win. And it's not about the best results, because what is the best result? Is the guy that won $100,000 the best? Is it the guy that won the first national? Is that the best? Or is it the guy that won every single club race and every combine race? Is that the best result? It's hard to say what the best result is. So we don't have to say what the best result is. We want to see all the results, and we're going to make it fair and do a draw. So every time you get a result and you send the result in, you're going to get another name into the bucket. So we're going to extend this until we get some more results, because you know what? There's way more results out there. People, you got to put them in. Come on now. This is the Christmas show. Well, I don't know if this is the Christmas show. What is the Christmas? Is really tonight the Christmas show? You can't. Maybe the Christmas show will be next Monday, but it's very close. This is a toss up. But anyways, so getting back to the
So
awards. Come on,
I guess
people.
no one
Let's go.
has results.
Well, no, they have results, but one person didn't want to send a result because it was a 100-mile result. Like, it's not the best. It's not going to beat some of the other results that are already submitted. I want every
Well, if that
result. I
person
want.
has the only result, that's the best
No, but
result.
it's
It
not.
would
It's
it.
not. It's no. It's not the only result. And is it going to be the best result? No, but it's a result. I want to see results. I don't want the best results. I want results. Is that hard? Is that a lot to ask? We'll give you cash if you can give me your results. Jason Halleck says, "Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas."
It could be the best result. It could be the worst result. If you don't put up what you've accomplished, how can you compare? Let's compare.
Oh, well, thank you, Milton. Yes, and again, guys, that's how we know what pigeons to go get. We know what pigeons are working for people because there's a lot of results. There's a lot of results. So now we're going to give people a little bit more time because I know there's more results out there. But anyways, on that note, come on, guys, put your results in. Help me out. And I don't care what they do, just post them in. Anyways, what else did I want to say? Um, Opening up. Oh, geez, I don't have the advert. It wasn't sent to me. Opening up on Christmas Day, we have the Monic Days, the old Jansen lady. She has a few pigeons that are coming up for offer at Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions, and these are the long distance Jansons. These are the original Jansons from the father of Jansen. Uh, so keep looking for that. And yeah, Ricky. So what are we thinking tonight, Ricky? What's on your agenda this evening? What's in your mind for talking about our show tonight? And I say to the audience, what do you guys want to talk about? Post it in. We got some. Then I guess I have some results I can send in. There you go, David Tracy. Look at this. Look at this. We got results. Look at this, David Tracy. Yes, give me the results. Everyone, give me the results. If you have them, give them. If you won the club, put them in. If you won the federation, put them in. If you had good one-off results, put them in. That's how we're going to find out. So, Mr. Tracy, you got some time. Send them in. And the more results you send in, the more times you get entered. You send me in 10 results, I'll put your name down 10 times. Why not? Those birds earn that for you. So, it's like that ding dong there in wherever the hell he is, EOC, the combine ding dong there. What's his name? Bob Azumi? No, not Bob Azumi.
Bob
Bob
Waterfall.
Bob Waterfall. Yeah, yeah. That ding dong there. They don't want to count birds that score. They're bullshit. So we're
He
not going to
doesn't
do
want
that.
results.
No, because well, the number one reason you don't want results, and I've done more figuring out, you can't get them. So when you can't get
Well, I'll,
results, this
I'll,
is how
I'll
you go
tell.
around it.
We're getting back into this
We're not. We're
thing
not.
here.
We're not.
I figured out what his theory is. He wants to get rid of anyone that works hard and gets results.
Mm,
Get rid of them people because I'll tell you why. The bulk of the people that fly in those combines, they don't work. So now he's worried if that person that works so hard to get results, the rest of them are going to go, well, hell with it. I can't fly anymore. I
mm.
can't beat that person. I'm not even going
Yep.
to bother flying. It's not even this. And that's what he's trying. And Bob, you got a good idea
Okay.
there. Get rid of
So
them.
we're not going back into the Bob thing, but I just had to
No, I
bring.
know, but you brought it up and you're getting my blood pressure up on it again.
Well, yeah, but you didn't have to go through the whole story again because I went through it. Then
Well,
you're going to
think
go through
about
it.
it. Get Bob on the show,
I
and
don't want.
Bob will say, this is what
Listen.
my theory is.
I wouldn't bring Bob on the show because Bob
Bob
already.
doesn't
Bob
have the
already. No,
Colucci's. He don't
no.
have the
It
Colucci's
actually,
to come on the
it
show.
has not. It has nothing to do with the Colucci's or whatever you want to call them. Bob doesn't have any shit between his ears. That's it.
He doesn't have the nuts, the
No,
balls
he
to come
doesn't.
on the show.
No, he doesn't have any brain power. Has nothing to do with that other stuff. There's no
Well,
brain
that's
power because
exactly right.
if the
Because if you
man
had
did have,
brain power, your nuts would work, and he's got no nuts. So I'm
all right,
sorry to say it, but that's just the way I feel. Bob, don't hide behind the bushes, man. Come on. I keep saying this every time. Come
all right,
on.
okay, let's go to the next one here. Moving on. My best young bird this year was bred off of a Sonia Vandermalen hen. Well, post the results, Mike. I can't. I guys, if you can't take the time to send in an email, you know where it all is. Go and look at it. Come on, you guys can tell me when the internet's crap. You guys can tell me when the volume's crap. You guys can tell me all this stuff. So this is where you go, guys. Just
My bottom line is
enter them in.
you must hold on. You must be proud
There's the rules. We're gonna have
of
to
your
make some
birds.
an adjustment on the rules, but that's okay. Put your results in. Don't write them here on the show because I can't enter them. You have to submit them in properly, and there you go. Let's get back to the
Uh,
screen here.
I'm saying be proud of what your bird uh, has done for you. Be proud of it. You know, uh, when Ryan Pitt played house league hockey, wow, he got the only goal in the game. He could barely skate. He was on his knees. You know, could hardly, the house league stuff when you're 6 years old. Wow. I was proud of that. Walked out. Yeah, he got the only goal in the whole game. Yeah, you're proud of that, So it
Well,
doesn't matter. Did he get a goal? Did your
all
bird
right.
get a goal?
So let's see if this sparks the interest of the people. Um, well, here in Belgium now, everybody's on. Lots of people are all on eggs, or lots of eggs are being laid, and it is the breeding time is in this area, all throughout our area here is breeding. Now in your area, Ricky, it's I guess people are breeding. But I really think a lot of these first round pigeons here, they work. It's fine. You can let the birds out in February. You can let them out in at the end of January. You can let them out. You can let them out in February. You can let them out in March. You can get them into the first races in the middle of May. You can get young birds into those types of races. So the young pigeons are far more developed quicker. Okay, but in the area where you are, Ricky, and I'm going to use that area, you can't let them out. You can't even raise them properly. It's minus 20. Okay, you breed them. Yeah, they come out. You can't put them out on the board because you got a foot and a half of snow, or you got the hawks are so bad. There's no leaves on the trees. It's just real shit. So what guys
You
do is
can't.
they keep them locked up and they let them out later on. And I think this is why you really hear, and I never hear this here. I never hear this here. I never hear that the darkening makes them dumb here. I never hear this. But what I do hear over there, where you are, is oh, the first round, they look great, but they're real stupid. Second round's better, and the third round's always the best. Because that's, if you think about it, the third round pigeons, second or third round pigeons, let's say third round pigeons, they're on the evolution of going boom, 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 up. These ones in Canada that you breed now, they don't go like this up. They just go like like this, and then you try and make them go up. And in between there, their brain gets flat and stupid.
It does.
So
Yeah.
that was my thought on this. I don't know what the
I
guests think, but we
mm,
got some questions. But go ahead, Ricky.
I think early bred birds here, like you know, some people have birds hatching now, and they're waiting for those bands to come the first week of January. And I know in some situations, some combines or the Canadian Racing Pigeon Union, they send people out bands earlier than January 1st, and they have their young birds already banded right now. And exactly what you say, you you can't put them here in this area. You can't put them on that board when they're 4 weeks old, 28 days old. You can't put them out on this board because like you say, the hawk, if it's snowing, if it's minus 15, minus 10, minus 5, the young birds don't even want to start to move. They don't want to go out. The hawk goes over twice, and they're scared so bad. So it's almost like a waste of time. And I wonder if you raised 100 youngsters and had them all banded the first week of January. When it comes time to get them moving, flying in May, how many would you have left? Or how they're it's It's like, I use the old saying is a guy like Wayne Gretzky or basketball players, top notch athletes, they're playing that game when they're already 2.5 years old. Well, these pigeons here that have to go out on that board, yeah, middle of February, even first week of March, yeah, it's very dangerous with the hungry hawk. Very dangerous if your young pigeons are out in the end of February and they're flying and they get caught up in a snow squall, which comes through, you lost them. So it's almost, I think, a waste of energy. Um,
All right, let me
it's
get to the
almost like,
comments
yeah.
now.
And
Okay.
then you got to have your water. Make sure that water's out there at 8 o'clock in the morning for them in their feed and all this stuff. Now,
Okay,
soon you get,
can I
now,
read the
excuse me,
comments?
just hold on.
Can
I'm
I,
not finished yet.
oh, fuck,
When
but I
you
mean,
get the,
you're
when you,
taking fucking
hold on,
5 minutes to give me this
before
shit.
I
Come on now.
forget,
Well, we're
in
gonna
this
talk about
country,
this. I don't
you
know.
get young birds and the parents just getting off them on the
Do
nest.
we
They're
do
like,
we have to do we have to talk about it all in one breath? Can you just let
oh,
me read the comments now?
okay, so go
You
ahead.
you, you rambled the whole thing off. We
I'm
won't have
gonna,
nothing.
no,
We
you
won't
know
have
what?
not.
I don't want to
We won't have
forget
nothing
what I'm
else.
talking about.
Well,
And then
you're
you got fret
oh
on the
my God,
flights.
Jesus
Once you
Christ,
get a
Spencer.
fret
Can
on
I
the
read?
flight,
Can I read the comments?
okay, go ahead.
Okay, be quiet now for a minute, please. For the love of God, just sit there and relax. Christ Almighty. I gotta get through 10 comments now, and then we're gonna go back around, listen to this shit again. So just slow down, 2 points at a time. We don't need to give me a whole story, and we don't need to bring Wayne Gretzky into it. Give me a minute. Van Zorn says, my question to the viewers is, what do you pay attention to when you link feet? I think when you look at a pedigree, I think that's what he's trying to say. Only the pedigree or the built, and then the first build and then the pedigrees. I think what I think what he's trying to say is, what do you look for when you're looking at a pigeon? Do you look at the pigeon or the pedigree? Well, that's a simple question. Mike Vaniak says, if you refuse to get them out early, then don't breed them early. Well, yeah, we know that, Mike, but I'm saying what we're saying is in southern Ontario, yes, you can let them out. You can do it, and I know. But it don't work. It really doesn't work. And you can say you're going to do it. You can say you're going to put them out when it's minus 25 and the parents get off the nest and the babies are starting to feather out and the hens are getting off, the cocks getting off. It stunts the growth there. You put them on the board, they don't want to fly when it's minus 20. Nothing's working properly. Anyways, next comment. No matter what round, JDTL says, no matter what round you raise, at 3.5 months old, they better be in a basket or they get dumb. Okay, they get that. That's a good way of putting it. In 3.5 months, it's about 100 days old. But I've seen people breed young pigeons in our area, and they don't let them out till the second week of April, and they were weaned the first week of or the fourth week of January, so that they're already January, February, March. They're 4 months old and they haven't even gone out onto the board. But they sure look good, and the cocks are starting to coo, and the hens look great, and the feathers are painted on, and boy, they look great. But they're as flat as a pancake. Ray Sheeran says, nice to see you on, Ray. I found if you breed early, the birds need to be trained early. If you wait for the other rounds, then the early birds just become homing pigeons and not racing pigeons. And wait a minute, isn't this what JD Teal said? And isn't this what Mike Vanderyak said? And isn't this what we're saying? You have to make the brains get going, make them smart. And I think a lot of people, they think they're going to breed them early. in Canada, and I'm sure other places in the U.S., and they sit on those birds, and they got nice, good-looking big dummies. Next question, or next comment. Agree completely. So Mike Vanderyak agrees. Jeff Henderson says, "Good afternoon from down under. Hope everyone is having a good Christmas. Nice to see you on, Jeff from Australia. Hope you're doing good. Go get a croquette and see if you get sick." Afternoon from down under. Found in Australia, the better pigeons are out of the second and third rounds. It's because the second and third rounds, and the third rounds would normally seem to be the best, because it was pushed the earliest and the hardest. The first round you're really baby the shit out of them, I think. Mr. Teal says they have to be out on the board as soon as you wean them. The first round starts road training, then the second round, and so on. So he's training in between rounds. Ricky, what do you want to say?
Uh, Mike Vanderyak said, "Is he?" I'd like to know where Mike is. He's more south. He's down by Fort Erie. I think they get an earlier spring than we do. I would think they get probably a month earlier spring, even though we are only probably 50 miles more north.
Uh,
Um, but
I would
100%.
I wouldn't go that far. I'd say you get about a week difference. A week.
I don't think I think Mike probably gets about 3 weeks to a month earlier spring, but
No
um
way. He's right by
oh,
Buffalo.
no,
Come
the,
on.
the people down, hey, listen, my friend, the people down in Fort Erie and that they
Oh,
send us the corn, spring corn. We get
okay.
that first corn on the cob. We get that in June. Comes from down there. Doesn't come from here.
Alrighty. Well, let's get to the comments. Good
Okay,
job.
so exactly what we're talking about. You get birds right now, and again, I was going to say, once the parents start getting off the nest to make another nest, that's around the 12, 14 day mark. Your youngsters, when they're here and it's minus, I don't know, -3, -5, -20, all those youngsters, they get fret. The feathers, they get
Yeah,
fret
yeah.
marks.
Okay.
And if the
So,
fret marks come on those feathers, number one, that's a weakness in those feathers, a weakness in those flights. But not only the feathers get fret, the whole body gets fret. And yeah, I think it's a waste of time going. And I had different people say to me, "Hey, you know what? It's the middle of January. Hey, man, I got 100 young ones already banded. Like, wait a minute." And the people think, "Well, I got an army already." I'm sorry, but that's just like trying to raise tomatoes in a greenhouse with a
mhm.
little bit lower heat temperature. Your tomatoes, when they come out in April or whatever, they taste like water. They're like
All right.
garbage.
Okay. So this is what Mike Vaniak says. This is why we have big young bird losses. People breed early and leave them locked in way too long. I agree 100%. And what does Gang One say? You okay, lads? Yes, we're okay. Mike Van Zorn says, here it is. Here it is different. They have a lot to fly in February, because in April the hawks is most dangerous, and if the young pigeons fly well, then there is less chance that they will get lost due to hawk attacks. That's true. Mr. Teal says, I honestly think this is a part of the problem with OLR pigeons. They sit for 5 or 6 months before they start training.
I
and they get
believe it.
lost. And I know one thing: running one off races, you get guys that right now are breeding youngsters, and they're going to send them to one off races. They'll send them the last week of the intake, and they send you pigeons that are on their seventh flight, eighth flight, ninth flight. They've been living inside a loft. They're big, they're beautiful, they look great, and they're so stupid. And I agree. One off races, they take the birds in and they sit and wait and they sit and wait and they sit and wait. I think that's where you're getting a lot of losses as well. But
What I'm going to say is the sooner you can get on that bicycle from the time you're weaned from your mother is the best, best, best. And I can give you some examples. Um, and that's 100%. The sooner you can get in that pool and start swimming, the better you're going to be mentally, physically. That's it.
well,
Uh,
and this
I
is this is the thing. Um, 90. I mean, there's exceptions to every rule, but if you go look in the history of professional athletes, okay, majority of the ones that are remembered, they could they walked, stood up, they walked just as they learned how to run, then they were playing the sport that they became a professional in. It's they learn it right from the beginning. Their mind is in it right from the beginning. Okay, and it's the same thing. Even if you have a singer per se, somebody that sings, a professional singer, and they take their kids with them as little kids, as this 1 year old, they take them to their concerts and they're singing in front of the audience, singing. Those kids, they automatically pick this up. They know how to do it. It gets installed into them. So,
well, hey Ryan,
mm,
exactly what you're saying. I got lots of examples.
okay,
Uh,
hold on. I got a couple comments, Ricky, before we get down the story time lane again.
well,
What time
but
to be alive? Merry Christmas, Ricky and Ryan. Merry Christmas. Mike Vanderyak says, my young birds are getting basketed and trained from the yard under 6 weeks of age. No exceptions. Okay, well, yeah, that's good.
but then
Uh,
what time of year does he do that? Like, is that like
well,
six six weeks?
just
So that could be the middle of February. I
it
don't.
depends. It
I don't.
depends when Mike's breeding. I just think he just said. Oh, I think what Mike was saying was once he weans them at the 6 week mark, he starts to do little things for them, which is great. JD Teal says they're like children, or just like young horses. There is a prime time for education and learning, and if you let them go too long, they go to shit. Okay, Gang One says lots of birds losses because they get sent training sick, race sick. Good birds sick get lost. Okay, good birds sick get lost. That's an interesting one. Get sick. I don't. Yeah, I don't.
I think what he's saying is they go into another loft and they don't have the immunity to handle the to come in and the young bird sickness. And if they're a little bit on the sick side, easy for them to get lost.
Yeah, I mean, sick pigeons. There's no point in even trying to train them when they're not right.
When
And
they're
and
sick, mentally, they're not functioning.
that's right. Your pigeons gotta be flying and exercising real good, and they gotta have that look to them. That there's a look that they give you, and you can see the little twizzle in the loft when you know they're feeling good, and they're exercising good, and they're responding good to the feed, and they're eating good, and they're digesting good. Okay, but again, I think. I think Gang One's probably right. There are people out there that train them when they're not right, and then they lose them all. But Frank Leopold says, Why OLRs start race on the end of September and club finish in the end of September? Well, because here's the thing: when you take in one loft, you guys are thinking of it as your own loft. Okay, you take your first round, second round, whatever it is, and then they're all your own birds. So you start them differently. There's no the only person you answer to is yourself. If you do this and it doesn't work, you don't have 75 people breathing down your throat. Then you get birds come in from everybody, all different. You got old ones, young ones. You get half of them that look like a pile of shit. You get half of them that are lazy. You get another group of them that there's so many different problems. So the harder you push those one loft birds from the word go, the quicker you break them. And you don't really break the good ones. The good ones will find a way. It's once you start losing too many birds, then everybody gets on and they start typing and they go, "Oh, this guy's shit. Oh, this guy's shit. This is shit." Yeah, it's not that easy. So this is why they try and take their time a little bit more because they don't want to lose your money. I know everyone says, and I think this is the cutest thing. Well, they had 1,000 birds and he lost them down to 400. Do you know how much money he's saving on feed? Really, guys? It's not that much money you're saving on feed. I'd much rather have 1,000 pigeons than lose them down to 400 and say, "Well, I saved $1,500 on feed this year." You know what I'm saying? Uh, Frank, they're trying to the babying it. They're trying to take care of your money so that not your money, your birds, so they get there. Milton says the younger you get them going, the better. Mr. Tracy says I always wait until Valentine's or after to put my birds together. The weather gets warmer, the birds get better, and the hawks are usually gone by the end of March. So there you go. I think that's a good way to put it. Mike Vaniak says intake windows for OLRs are generally way too long. Well, Mike, they're not generally way too long. It's because if you make it a 1 week window, try it out. Put on a one loft race. Put your intake window for 1 week. What do we get? Well, my yeah, that's good. Yeah, we all want a 1 week intake. That's what everyone originally says. And then this is what you get. Richards aren't ready. He went away to Holland for a week and he couldn't put them together. And then Mike Vanderjak's birds, the first round, the eggs all froze. Well, that didn't work. So by the time it's all said and done, if you take that 1 week window or 2 week window, you have a quarter of the birds you were supposed to get because
Yeah,
nobody is
but
on time.
hold on a minute. I think what Mike said, he's got a real good point there. If you could get them all in 1 week, that would be beneficial. But like Mike's got a good point, but I believe your point, Ryan, is very well as good as well, because what your point is, and maybe Mike doesn't realize it, that everyone can't focus on getting them all in on that time, for whatever excuse they have, and
Yeah,
that's where I think if the people could get their birds all in that, or most of them in that 1 week window, they will have an advantage to birds that come later. Or I've seen birds come later, and young birds are very young, and they're way better than the birds that came in that window. Yeah, it's kind of like
well,
you know.
here's the thing, and Mike Vaniak says I understand why they are too long, but that this is what causes many problems. So when we talk about us doing a race this year, okay, so we got this 15 times to 100 miles. We might do that. Maybe we're going to do that. Then you got to pick the date. Well, when do you want to take them in? When can we get all the children focused to do it at the right time? So what's the good what's and this is we're adding this to this breeding conversation. What is a good time?
What's that?
And I think something else that should be said is the birds cannot be past their first flight. They shouldn't drop a flight. They should have all baby feathers because it gets them closer to getting on that bike and riding. You know what I'm saying? If we get pigeons that come in, and I seen guys last year, they brought us birds on the seventh flight, or I've seen it every year. It's ridiculous. And then they give you this pressure. Well, you got to break them. Well, the pressure is me not breaking them. The pressure is your bird smart or is it stupid? That's what it's going to be. Does he have a bad day his first time out and go over to trees and he's gone because he's got way too much horsepower? If you have the birds basically wean them in your own loft for 2 or 3 weeks and then bring them, that's good. What should be the window? When should you do the intake, guys? What would be perfect for you guys? Is it the first weekend of May? Is that good? Or is it the last weekend in May? The last week of May. What do you guys think? What's a good time? We got some more comments here. Seven Hills Loft. Good evening from Boston, Massachusetts. Good evening from Boston. You know, you don't have to get the birds in April. You can get them in towards the end of May. I'm fine with that. I think if you're going to race at the end of September, I don't think there's a problem. Why get them in? Why get them in so early? Get them in, make a 2 week window, 10 days or two Saturdays, Saturday to Saturday, 2 weekends. Get your birds in. What do you think, Ricky?
I, you know, we had last year in our one loft, we had Mark Kernwall. Kernwall.
Mhm.
He was the first in with his birds. I think, I don't know what he brought in, about 12 birds. He came the 1st of April, dropped his birds in, and he did super well. He lost a lot of birds. I remember he brought a bird in at that time. It was already on its fourth flight. It was a checker.
Yeah,
And
but you're
yeah,
you're you're
like
forget you're for
he had some good luck.
you're forgetting the ace pigeon came in the first week of June. Ingram Racing Group. The ace pigeon was the youngest one in the race.
Yeah, but Mark had a good pigeon in there
But
as well, didn't he?
he didn't have the ace pigeon. He didn't have the best pigeon in the race. He had a bird that came on the finals. Yes, he did good. I'm not taking that away from Mark or anybody else.
Yeah,
But the ace pigeon, the best pigeon, coming
was
at the end,
very young.
was the youngest. Were the youngest pigeons. Now,
Well,
that
I
being
remember. Hold on a minute. I remember some years ago, the Empire race, I believe it was. Wally Bielik brought a bird in that was like so young it couldn't even walk. And
yeah,
Jim McGinnis, I think he was running the race. He said, this pigeon here is too young and that. And Wally said, just make sure it can drink and make sure it can eat. And that pigeon, excuse me, Wally and Mike Van Kampen, I think they were partners on that bird. They won over
yeah,
50 grand, over
yeah.
50
No,
grand with
no,
that pigeon.
no.
And you and I one time, we put a pigeon in,
Yeah,
um,
we did in San Diego. It was the same thing.
no, 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 not San Diego. It was another one loft here. The guys in Millbrook.
oh yeah, Jerry Gray. It was the same thing. We took it at the
We
end.
put a very young pigeon in. He didn't have a lot of pigeons in the race. He had maybe 70 birds or something. And the pigeon was so young, we won money with that pigeon and made it right to the end.
Hold on. Okay,
But
so Mike Vandiak says two intake dates: the middle of April and the midweek of May. That gives 4 weeks and only two groups of birds. Well, you know, that I like that. That's a good. That's a good thing, but I always find you end up stretching it more because you always have people that ask, and I don't know. I don't know if I could do it for just 2 weekends if you get the support. I don't know. Or does it have to be like Mike says, or do you just say screw it, start taking birds in the middle of April and take them to the end of May, and because hey, you're trying to get that group of birds. If we do put up our one loft race for this year, and you guys do want to participate in it, uh, I hope people sign up and then they stick to it, and they follow through. But that's easier said than done. Let's see. We got some more comments here. Midas Lofts. My second year racing, I was first combine average speed because I was trap training in freezing temperatures and flying around the loft the end of February. I lost a gazillion birds to the hawk, but they learned. Well, there you go. He pushed through that. He pushed through that threshold. So that's learning. See. Uh,
But hold on, let me say something. I hear what this fella said, but he probably at that time lost a lot of great pigeons that he put they were put into a torture. And some pigeons, they don't want to fly off the board. They're so scared from the hawk, they won't fly off the board. They crouch down. But your good pigeon with the power, he
well,
flies off the board. The hawk, boom, picks him off. So I
yeah.
don't
I
think you
wonder.
got.
I wonder.
I
I
think you
wonder.
lost
I
a lot of good
wonder what.
pigeons.
I wonder what he's doing now. He said his first year he did that. I wonder
Okay,
if he changed what he did. Maybe we'll have to
okay.
see for that. Uh,
If I could say something that first year pigeon keeper, uh, some of the I would have to say stupid moves they make. They can eliminate a lot of garbage, but they also could lose a lot of good pigeons. And I'm saying as far as what they do, that's training. When they let them out, that's part of training. And
okay. Let me get to the
there's some
comments.
stuff. I think in another 20 years from now, that person here will think back and say, "Wow, what did I do? I lost a lot of crap, but I lost a lot of good birds."
Okay, introducing new birds destroys the pecking order. You have to start over with everything from scratch. Well, and that's what we're saying. If you could get everybody in a 2 week period, I think we did that the first year at Pioneer, and it worked out pretty good. I mean, we still had sickness, and that's what it was, but I think it worked okay. I think a 2 week period would be good to get birds. That's what David Tracy says. Alan says, good old Alan, he says, maybe you should specify that you want the birds at 25 days old and you want breeders to pair their birds on a certain date. I'm just saying, I'm not saying I want birds at 25 days old, but I'm saying I think I think if you could send birds before they drop a flight, it makes it a little easier on them to break. They don't have as much power. When they're 50 days old, 45 days old, you know, 40 days old is a perfect time you can send them. By that time, they're eating, they're drinking, but don't have them in there with their parents, so the parents are still feeding them. They should be in their own section, eating and drinking and going up and
I
down to the perch, and there you go.
I find yeah, you've got to school them before you bring them. Make sure they're eating on their own, drinking on their own. Make sure they're over that crybaby stage. Where's my parents? you know, yeah, I find if you leave them too long with the parents, 100%, that's part of, they become dependent. They become, what should I say, lazy to survive. Uh, Soon you start to see them. If I mean, that's why I like to wean them young, very young, 16 days old, 21 days old, wean them. That's it. Let's see. Let's see how you eat. Let's see how you drink. Show them the water once or twice. That's it. Let's see how you pick
Oh,
up how to ride that
okay.
bicycle.
Okay. So
And
next
I
comment.
don't know. I don't know where you were, Ryan. We're right in the middle of a conversation here.
Yeah, I know. I want to get to the next comment though.
Oh, okay.
I like to change. I did change, but I can't feed the hawks like that. But can't babysit the birds either. So he did change what he did. But his first year, he did it that way, and he had some more losses, and he had a good year. But it is what it is. So yeah, the intake dates of races and that it all plays an effect on on the birds, but then it affects the bottom line. If you're trying to get 200 birds, it's try to organize 50 pigeon men. That's a tricky thing to do because everyone comes up with a new, I call it a new excuse, or something goes wrong. Everyone seems to have that excuse.
Hey,
I don't.
hey, listen, my friend. Let me ask you a question. Out of everyone's loft that raises 40 youngsters or 50 youngsters, how many would these people say out of that 50 youngsters they raise are top, let's say, five youngsters? How many? That's, that's what I'm trying to say is how many are, I'm proud out of that 50. I'm proud at the end of the year. Not that many. People always say, "Oh, that blue bar. Oh, that one there was. Oh yeah, and that checker. Oh yeah, that was good." And that. That's all you hear.
Half the
The rest of them.
95% of the people. Listen, we did the gold band race. We sold 14 or 15 or 1600 rings. We sold, I think, to like 60, 70 people bought them, and that was great. Only 7 lost could finish the 4 race series. That just goes to tell you how, I call it, candy ass flyers there are, and there's a lot of candy ass flyers. There's a lot of people that have pigeons, but they have an excuse of why they can't finish, or why they couldn't start, or blah 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 blah. I hear it all the time. But they have pigeons. They are pigeon racers, but they're not the 1 or 2% that are pigeon flyers. Most of them are, out of 100 pigeon flyers, there's 5 good ones. I'm giving you a number, 5 real flyers. Then
And
there's another group of 10 that are, yeah, they're okay, and then the rest is
hold
just,
on a minute. Those five great flyers in a combine. If you talk to them and they're honest, they will say, I raised 40 youngsters this year, 100%. 35 were garbage. That and those are the top flyers. They know how to they know it. They're garbage.
right. And we're not trying to
Right.
put people down. We're not
Well,
doing that.
no, we're not.
We're just saying it's the same with the pigeons is the same with the pigeon men. It's the same number, you know. But they're all pigeon men and they're all pigeons. But there's only a certain number that can get to the top. Jeff Henderson says 3%. Mr. JD Teal says, usually my best young birds are not my best yearlings or 2-year-olds, but I have found this, and I was talking to Chris Becker about this, and he said he found that normally his best young birds sometimes weren't his best yearlings, but they turned out to be better as 2 year olds. But he said that, and I agree with him, sometimes your young birds that show you one or two good places in the season that you race, a couple what we call little flashes, those turn around to be your best yearlings. I think your best young birds sometimes they can be a little cooked out, depends on how hard you work them, and that's why it takes them a year off. I like what Chris said. Sometimes his best youngsters, he'll fly them as yearlings, and he'll get them a quarter of the way through, and then just stop them, just because to give them a little bit more time off because he raced them harder as young birds. We have here. Alan says, "Do you pick your OLR birds from the ones that you've raised, or do you pick them before you start breeding?" No, no. You can't pick a bird before you start breeding, Alan. I want to see the birds come out. I want to see which one's smart. I want to see which one feels good. I want to see which one catches my eye. Then when I see that, I say, okay, I like that. Then that's what I'm sending. I don't. Maybe yes, there is a pair. I say, okay, I'm going to be sending them from them because every time the babies come out and they're real good looking, they're sharp or they're good. Okay, maybe, but that doesn't. It's not 100% guaranteed. You always
I,
gotta you
I
always gotta look at what you're picking.
I like to see when I wean those youngsters. I like to see which one within a couple 3 days shows me stress. You can see it. They hump up. They don't go for the water the right way. They don't go for the feed right away. If you put 20 youngsters in a section and they're 20 days old, you'll see right away. Put the feed. Oh, you'll get the ones that come right away for the feed. They know the feed. Oh, the rest of them, why aren't you coming? Oh, come on. I see that right away, and I don't baby them, right? If they don't pick up, they can't
Okay.
pick up, they're done.
Yeah, then if they look like shit and they go down, I'm not saying I'm to a one off race. I don't care who they're out of. Okay,
I don't even keep them for myself.
you judge the way Ricky is. He is not talking, guys, are not trying unproven pairs and trying new things, and not all are gonna stay in the breeding loft. Okay, JD, I'm trying to understand what you're saying there, but what does Mike Vandiak say? 35 young birds will be raised in the NNRPA this breeding season. Only 16 or less will win a combine. Yes, but Mike, I'm not. The 16 birds, all the 16 birds that win a combine, that's a great feat. Congratulations. But a pigeon that wins a combine is good, but you're looking for the best pigeons in the combine, the ace pigeons. So there's going to be more than if there's 3,500 young birds raised, there's probably going to be around 100 to 200 that are probably pretty consistent young birds that'll be decent. But really, there won't be 200 because half of those birds will all get lost. Half of everything, I mean, it'll just, you know what I mean, Mike. But I agree with you. Yes, there'll be 16 combine winners. That means there'll be 16 seconds, there'll be 16 thirds, there'll be 16 fourths, there'll be 16 1 to 10. We get all that. It's the ace pigeons still will be the best ones, and only two will be ace birds. Well, there you go. Mike's right. Only two will be ace birds. That means there's a lot of pigeons that
Now, I'm going to ask the question: out of those two ace birds, how many of like you're talking two birds? What will make it to 4 years of racing?
wow,
Like
in
I'm talking
Canada they
about
don't do it.
no,
They don't
I'm
do it.
talking about percentage. At the end of 4 years of racing, what will be left? I'll tell you something. It'll be like, wow.
If you
That
have
that,
if you
that
have 100, you might have five left. If you have 100 after 4 years, if you started, you'll have maybe five left.
yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
But I mean
And that,
that depends on how hard you
well,
really fly them.
well, it depends a lot on the loft manager and how he handles the situation. Like we just talked to that one fellow there, he's a new flyer, and that there's bad situations. So we got to talk about someone that's focused and focused in decisions on training, in what weather, when to release, how much loft flying they do around the loft, focused on a lot with the man or woman operating the situation, and that there's the focus on what makes a pigeon fly for 4 years.
Right. Um, JD Teal says, I start my young bird team with between 120 and 150. First, I raise extras for the hawks and losses, and I push them so the cream will rise to the top. And I will not race a bird longer than 3 years old if it hasn't earned a spot in the breeding by then. It has to be called already. Yeah, that's good. I think 3 years is good. 3 or 4 years, that time frame. Um, I would guess two ace young birds in the NNRPA in 2000 did not race in 2024. I would guess that two ace young birds in the NNRPA in 2000 did not race in 2024. Yeah, Mike, I don't know. Those 16 birds, I wonder who was able to pick them by looking at them as young birds. I don't think anybody can look at them. I don't think you you're never going to just look and pick them, but I think picking pigeons has to do with learning how to pool pigeons and gamble on pigeons. And you know, I think if in 2020, I know that's what you meant. Well, most of the time, Mike, if a guy has a champion young bird, they instantly stock it because they think it's going to be the next super breeder, which I think that's a big mistake. I think if guys wanted to find better breeders, they would fly them as young birds, fly them as yearlings, fly them as 2 year olds. Now, if you did that, you would have a minimum of four youngsters off of each pigeon that you're on your race team. So you're pre-testing your racers as breeders and you're flying them. And if you fly them 2 or 3 seasons, so you fly them as a young bird, okay, they did all right. They move over. Then you fly them as a yearling. You try their babies the first year. Oh, yeah, baby's pretty good on this one. Yeah, he flew good as a yearling. I fly him as a 2 year old. You breed him again as a 2 year old. He breeds another good youngster, and he flew a good 2 year old season. Then you can say, hey, I can park this one. I can fly him a third year. I already know he's a breeder. But if you don't breed out of those racers, how you're wasting to see if they are breeders. I think if you guys want to get better racing pigeons, if you can fly them till they're 2 years old, and I can see in North America, nobody is interested in old bird flying. It's it's a dying breed, and I think it's a big waste. But hey, who am I to say, right? I mean, who? Here's the question: who has the time to put in? Uh, who has the time to put in 16 weekends or 20 weekends of racing? I don't know.
So you're talking old birds, young birds, right?
Well,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, you know how what it's like to go to the club for 10 weeks in old birds, and then go 8 weeks in young birds. By the time the season's over, you're fed up. I mean, it's a lot of work. It is a lot. So I kind of get it.
Well, yeah. You either want to fly pigeons or not.
Well, yeah, I know, but you know what it's like though. If you have a family, you say, "Oh, I'm going to be doing pigeons all summer." Ah,
Yeah.
David Tracy
Yeah.
says most of my steady young birds, not necessarily winners, just usually become the best old birds. hmm Jeff Henderson says 100% agree with you, Ryan. Flying with wait, I 100% agree with you, Ryan. With flying them 2 and 3 years old. And I'm that's where I sometimes kind of wonder. I just think about this in North America, and I'm going to throw this out here. Why can't the combines design like they do in Australia that fly the young and the old birds together, but they just make double results? So you move the young birds up a little bit, you push the old birds back a little bit, and then guys can go to the club and they can fly. Maybe you don't have a 16-week season, you don't have an 8-week season, you have a 12-week season or something, and you get to fly young and olds together, you know?
Uh,
And I think that would help the pigeon flyers a little bit because they only got
uh,
to do one group of training. They go to the club. I mean, you could even do two. You could have an old bird release. You could have a young bird release. You could have it all together release. But I
okay.
think
So
it's good. Go ahead.
I'm going to ask you the champion pigeon flyers in Europe
Mhm.
are Belgium, Holland, right?
Yeah.
What what's their program? But I guess we have to look at the weather conditions. I would have to say they have programs there where they're flying. They can fly three different clubs in 1 week.
Well, yeah, but
Ashore,
this is
yeah,
a different zone, right?
yeah, a different zone. I don't think we have the population here, the interest here. Like in Canada, we have what 500 pigeon flyers in the whole country, and it takes you 3 days to or 4 days to drive from one end of the
Yeah,
province
we know
or the
that.
country to the other.
We know
So
that. We know
meanwhile,
that.
yeah, yeah. So it's
Right.
very hard for us here to have what program like the program. It's very short.
It has to be made different. It has to be adjusted a little bit, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, you get the old people that are stuck in their ways, so they won't do it. They're trying to get less birds shipped and more birds shipped and blah blah blah. So, I'm not going to go down that road. Just a silly little idea that no one would listen to anyway. So, we won't go back on about that for too long. Um, but yeah, that's that.
That's it. Now I think I was trying to show people how you can take the weed feed seeds,
hmm
weeds for
Yeah.
nesting material. And I think that's a good point. Everyone thinks, you know what, you got to go buy a bale of straw. Um, no, it's very simple. Just go find some dried weeds in the field along the side of the road. You you say, well, where am I going to find it? Well, you'll find it very easy to find. Just pull out the weeds, drop me in your section. I got some sat nets right now nesting on them. They love them. And I took a few pictures for people to see. A lot of people don't, they don't think outside that box. just get your, your, if you don't want to pull them, get your, what do you call it? Your trimmers. Go and trim some. Man, put them in a pail, take them home and drop them in. Wow.
Good point.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it works.
Even if you can find the pine trees with the long needle pines and they fall off in the fall, go about where the pines are. Just rake the pines, pine needles, drop them in. Perfect nesting. They love it.
Mike Vandiak says in 2024, the Upper Canada National, there were 10 birds in the top 100 older than 2 years, older than two, and none older than four. Ah, well, because the people don't race them. People don't, Mike. People don't race birds over basically a yearling. They get rid of them. I lost. What is this? I lost a pigeon, and the father abandoned the two eggs. I gave them to another couple, and then they had two of their own. Now I have four. Do you think it will be a problem raising four at once? Uh, no, I don't think it'll. I don't think it'll be a problem. In the nest, oh, four babies at once. I was just looking there. So guy by the car, but I think it's all right. Four babies in the nest at once.
I think that's a lot.
Yeah, it won't. They won't raise them right. They won't feed them right.
Yeah.
I think, and if they're two different ages, if they're 3, 4 days different, hold on. Oh, oh no. Oh, people are going the other way. Sorry, I thought there was someone by my car, but that's okay. So, anyways,
No, they'll out of four youngsters, there'll probably be one or two that'll be strong. The rest of them, they're gonna have a problem. I don't know how old they are. Like once they get onto the strong feed, I think they'll have. There's gonna be a problem there, right?
yeah. There's two. Yeah, if they all hatch at the same time, it might be all right. I think you're going to really cook out the parents. But and I don't think I think you're going to get. That's why pigeons only lay two eggs. Is what they can really handle, right?
Yeah, I
So
think.
I think you'll have a problem. But you can try it out. What the hell? My buddy Jason Mihalik says in British Columbia we are collecting pine needles. They're very good. And what's great about pine needles is when they make the nest with pine needles, the way they put it together, the birds, it really makes an aerated nest, good breathing, keeps it dry, and no bugs live in pine needles. No, no mites. They don't want to live in them because pine needles. Mike Green says, I use pine needles. I use pine needles. Have pure four pine trees, so they don't. I don't have to go far. Okay, that's good. Too many babies in the nest, says Eddie Ortiz. Okay, so we're agreeing on that one.
I think 100%. I think if you had one extra, that would be very hard. You're gonna have out of that nest. You're gonna have two. They may survive. One will pass out.
Yeah, what they'll do is the strongest ones will get the feed.
And I'll tell you, excuse me, if they do survive, they'll all be lacking in the strength,
Yeah,
like
they'll be
strength of,
underdeveloped.
yeah, undernourished. They're gonna be.
Yeah.
they're going to be like, yeah, I think I wouldn't even do it. I
Yeah,
know
but
you got, or if you can get that that gizmo there that Dominic lent us, where you can actually hand feed them through a syringe, right? Take them in
it's
and
a lot of
hand
work.
feed them.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work. What you got to ask the question, why is that situation happening, right?
Well, they lost one, and the father abandoned the eggs. So you know what I say? Hell with
The
it. Those
thought.
eggs. Those eggs. Those. Yeah. Eddie Ortiz says runs. You know what? The father abandoned the eggs, which is normal. The mother didn't come home, or you lost the mother, or something happened to the mother. Okay. So you know what everything's pointing to? Let's not waste our time with this. Get get rid of the eggs. They weren't meant to hatch. They were meant to hatch. They would have hatched, and the father would have stayed on them and said, "Hell with this, I'm going to do this." But it wasn't meant
And,
for it.
and I'll tell you one thing: if you can get a cockbird or a hen to manage on their own, that's a super sign of a pigeon that wants to do the work. But a pigeon that just abandons, forget it. Just knock the cock off.
Mm, mm, yeah. What is it? The Munichs have done three. Have done three. The Munichs. Huh. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, maybe they've done three. I don't know. I know one thing. There's a reason why pigeons only lay two eggs, and this is the reason. Even if you see a young, if you take a pigeon that's if you take a pigeon that's hatched, okay, hatched today, and give it 2 days, and then put another baby with it that just hatched, 2 days behind it, the bigger baby takes everything from that little one,
Yeah.
and it's only two in the nest. Okay, hold on here. Having trouble, Antonio Rodriguez, having trouble with a 2-year-old cock only fertilizing one egg last year from 3 rounds. And the first round this year are junk. Any advice? Jeez. Hopefully it's not with the same hen. If you switched it with different hens, maybe he's just a cock that sometimes I think fertilizing one egg last year from 3 rounds. Well, one egg, that means he's fertile. He's fertile, but he's not treading the hens properly.
Oh.
Well, if he fertilized one egg in 3 rounds, he's either not treading the hens. I don't know. What do you think, Ricky?
I I don't know. I think he's got a problem.
Yeah, you got a problem.
Yeah.
It can be just one of those cocks. He doesn't tread. He doesn't. Maybe another cock treaded the hen. That's why one egg was good. I don't know.
Yeah. You got a good point there, right?
You never
Could be
know.
another cock. I I had a situation where I actually had a pair. They were on eggs. They were sitting about 10 days, and communal environment. The hen, when it was her shift off, I seen her in the fly pen. She was treading a cockbird, and she's sitting on eggs 10 days. I'm going, wow. And the old saying is, I should just knock that hen off.
Yeah. Um.
I seen it happen. She's treading when she's on eggs 10 days.
Yeah.
Like she's out in the fly pan, her cock's sitting on the eggs, and all of a sudden this other Joe, he says, "Hey, hun, you look pretty damn good." Boom, they're gonna tread. Like it's, I seen
And
it. I
Antonio
couldn't believe my eyes.
Antonio says different hen from last year. Well, and now the hen from last year, she Is she on a round and it's good? I mean, you got to look at you kind of look at it both ways. But sometimes, hey, you buy a pigeon or you get a pigeon and it just doesn't fertile. Not, I've seen it before. What do they say? It's not the first and it won't be the last. Mike Green says, I've cut the tails to get them to lay good eggs. I've cut the tails to get them to lay good eggs. Michael Peeler
Uh,
says trim the vent bones. The only problem is when you trim the feathers around the vent, you make everything prickly. And I don't think that's a good feeling.
no. I'm thinking soon what we're going to do here is we're going to create pigeons that can't like some of those people with the short beak birds,
Oh yeah.
show birds, they have to switch. They like the birds can't feed their youngsters. So they take the eggs, give them to a pumper because they can't do it. Their beaks are too short and all this stuff. Soon we're gonna make start cutting the tail feathers, cutting this and that. Oh yeah, I think you're gonna make a. It's gonna be soon. Birds won't be able to reproduce.
Yeah, I think for the most part, you normally shouldn't have to do all that kind of stuff. And I don't think you have to. I mean, hell, you can try trimming the feathers, sure. You can pluck the feathers, sure. You can try all these things. In the end of the day, probably it's not going to do much, you know?
No, yeah, you're 100% right. I think. Are you there, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm here. So, mm,
Okay, give me one break. I gotta check the plumbing here.
okay. If you trim both the male and the female, cut an inch off, cut an inch off the male so he can sweep under the hen. Okay. Kill him. That's what Antonio Carlos Ferreira says. Okay. I only do this for older good cocks. Okay. If a hen doesn't lay, she's finished. All good points. Sean says a super cock towards the end of his breeding career would be the only time I would try anything extra. A 1 or 2 year old, get rid of it. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You can only yeah, I agree. 100%. So as we wait for Ricky to come back, uh I want to say, guys, good participation again tonight. And again, for you people that are watching, I'm going to extend this a little longer. Get your uh, results in. I don't care. Every time you send me in a result, we're going to put your name into a hat. We're going to run this again next year because the first year you always got to work out the kinks. But we want to start this so every year that we're going to give you guys, the buyers, um, a thank you. So get your results in, and we're gonna draw, and away we go. I'm waiting for Ricky to come back. Here he is.
Yeah, I'm back now, but when I left, I heard about trimming tail feathers and trimming the vents on birds to have them breed, reproduce. I think that's total garbage. I wouldn't even, I'll tell you right now, I got 12-year-old cocks, 15-year-old cockbirds in a, they're treading hens. I got youngsters last year, like this kind of thing here,
Oh,
treading, like cutting tail feathers, cutting feathers. Like, I mean, I hate to say it. Are you guys Are you guys raising show fantails?
Well, all the lofts I've been to here, I never hear guys saying, like with Guy there, he's got the 13-year-old cock early gray. First round, the hen only dropped one egg. Okay. But he never talks to me about, oh, I pulled the tail feathers, I trimmed this. No, he says when it's done, it's done. I think it's just a thing that we're going to try and help them out. You're going to help them. I don't think it does it. She's done, she's done. And sorry, guys, it's a little dark where I am here. The lights are shut off. So I just have to, you're just going to have to see sort of my shadow.
Can't
Oh,
see you.
oh Eddie Ortiz says only on older birds, Ricky. Okay.
Only on older birds. I don't know.
And
Yeah.
they're in private pens. Okay. So you know how it is there, yeah. Sean says if you do it with a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old, all you're doing is breeding bad genetics. That's a good point. I think so. I don't
Hey,
know.
we can't see you, Ryan. Could you not hold up a flare or something?
My laptop died. I was getting the light from the laptop.
Okay, so what do you want to do here? You want to see some satinets, or you want to just close the show off?
Mm,
9:30. Can't see you.
um. Well, don't worry, Ricky. You're just gonna have to hold on. Maybe I can move here. Let's just see. Oh,
I
I
see
can.
something going.
Let's just see if I move. So, what does Milton say? Ryan, how many more auctions you got? I got maybe another 20 auctions to go. We got lots more breeders coming up.
Oh, we can see you now.
We got a lot more breeders coming up. We've got opening up on Christmas Day. We've got the Woman of Jansen, so Monic Nays. So you guys will probably enjoy that auction. Again, that auction that's coming up for Monic, it's just you want to try one of these birds. It's old Jansen pigeons for the distance. Very nice, and they're 11 flights, so nice pigeons. Be patient. And Milton, you're going to like what we have. We still got the Munichs coming up. We got Gert Pollen. We've got Van Hee. We've got Kurt Platillo. We got Peter Vandermeer. We got Saki. We got more match pairs to come. Geez, I can't even think. Chris Clarebot. We got who else? Oh, we got the Lambrechts. Oh, we got Eugene Stable. We've got Luca Campanelli from Italy. We've got Anders Brobeck from Denmark. Let me think. Who else do we have? My mind's going blank. We got lots coming up. Frank says, what do you think about inbreeds? Inbreeds are good if they're inbred the right way and the quality is high, then an inbred is good. If an inbred is an inbred and it feels like shit, then it's no good. Back to you, Ricky.
Yeah, I agree. So where are we going from here? You're getting late there.
Well, I don't know. I feel bad that you did grab the droppers. Let's ask the people. Do you guys want to see the droppers tonight, or do we want to leave this for next week? Let me know. Let me know. What are you thinking, Ricky?
Well, doesn't matter. If you want, I can bring some in, put them in the. Got the little show pen here. I'm not trying to
What, you brought
get
the
the
show
show
pen
rolling
in?
more. I know it's late for you.
You got the show pen in the kitchen?
Yep. Do you want to see it?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Did you
Well, I
see
guess
it?
if you want
No.
to put a bird in, go ahead.
Put a bird in. I got about an hour and a half show going on here, man.
All right, put in.
Can
Let's
can
let's
can, can
let's.
you see the show cage from there or no?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, yeah, I can see it. If you want to put one or two in, go ahead. Let's see. The audience will love this.
Okay, good. Give me a minute. I got them outside. I gotta bring them in, right?
Alrighty. Well, let's see what Ricky brings in, guys, for a little show and tell with Ricky as we wait. We'll get these in and then we'll move on. Oh, it's about I think it's about 4 degrees here tonight. You can just slightly see your breath. Well, you can see it. I've got the long underwear on, so it's okay. But as we wait, we're not sure how far Ricky had to go to get them, but he obviously had to go further. Let's see if we have any more comments before this. Mike Green waiting for the Chris Clarabot auction. Okay. Will you use? We use Satnets as well. Okay. Let's see. Here he comes.
Here now.
There you go.
Telling you, we're getting snow here like you will not believe. I'll just put them out, put them in the cage. Well, actually, they're not show quality, but we are showing them, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
I think I'm gonna have to put the camera down, eh?
I don't know. Put them in. Let's see. Yeah, they look good there. Look
I
all
got
right.
one in there. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
There's a pair of droppers right there. Do you want me to change the angle on that camera?
You can push it down just a little bit if you're gentle and not hit the buttons.
Yeah, I know. Is that good?
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, there's a cock in the hand. No, these are they're not show quality, 100%, but they're field quality. That means they work to trap birds in.
Well, that's the main thing, Ricky. There you guys have them.
There's a cock in the hand. I got some powders I could bring out, but I know you're running short of time. You're getting late.
Well, if you want to bring a powder in, you can. Sure, show them a powder. That's good. We'll look at these here.
Okay, and I'll bring them out. I'll bring them in, and we'll put them right in the same show cage.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a cock in the hand right there. Look at the color on that cock. Amazing. I got all different colors. It's like, you know what? If you have them, you're almost like a kid in a candy store, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So I'll get you another couple here. I got to go out there. I'm telling you, she's snowing tonight up here like crazy. They'll
Well,
be
there you
selling
guys.
snowmobiles tomorrow.
And that's all you need. These things work great. How much do you sell them for, Ricky? Rocky. Oh, I don't know how much he sells them for. We'll have to ask him that. Nice, Ricky. I like the powders the best. The powders are highly entertaining on race day when they are working well. Yes, they are, Mike. I totally agree with you on that one. Let's see. Ricky showed these quite well tonight. This was a good we call it a little Ricky moment tonight, guys. As we wait for Ricky to bring the powders in.
Oh, oh, come on. Come on now.
So yeah, guys, maybe tomorrow I might show the Jansons tomorrow night, tomorrow in the evening time, and I got a special Christmas video that we're gonna do for you. But Ricky's got the powders, and let's take a look at them.
There's a nice powder. That's powder hen. This is her Cockford. Now, I'd have to say the powders are a little different. The satinets, they'll trap right off the bat. A powder is more of a bird that if you see a bird coming and he circles a couple times, you throw your powder out, he'll chase him right down on the board. If he's lazy coming in, he'll push him on the board. A satinet won't do that. These powders, they'll do that.
Yeah, they're you are right. The powders are a little they're a little different trapping. They're both good. They're both very useful. And if it was me, I would definitely have both breeds because I think you can use them. You can use them. They have two different purposes, but they both work good.
The way I look at it, I know you can't see me, but a powder works better. Look at that hen. She looks like a cock. That's her cock. Um, if you got a bird coming home from a long distance race, 450 miles, 500 miles, 800 kilometers, and the bird comes home and he hits that board. He's because he's worked hard. His mind is almost stopped. He's come home. That's when your powder goes out, and the powder actually will herd the pigeon in. It'll push him. Say, hey, wake up, get in, right? See how this hen is? This is a super hen. The cock's a bit shy tonight, but that cock there, he is super.
Yeah, the hen is nice. As Eddie Ortiz says, the birds have to get used to the powders, or they will freak out. Yeah, you have to get your bird if you're going to use droppers or bring in a fantail or bring in a powders or whatever. You should do that right at the beginning of the year. Already have them in the loft when you're weaning your young birds, and then there's no problems. And again, it only takes a couple days, and not even a couple days. It doesn't take very long, but I do agree, Eddie. You are right. If you do throw in a fantail or something and they've never seen it, they do go, what the hell's going on? Milton says, I like the powders better. Yeah, they're a little bit different. They're both breeds good, but the powders. If I didn't have race birds, I could have powders. I like them. I like their personality and they're fun to watch. They're the most funnest pigeon to watch outside if you have them. They're very entertaining, which makes it fun.
I'm coming back. Here's what they call it. It's a Russian tumbler, and these actually work as well. They work. They don't fly much. They'll go right to the board. You see it?
Oh yeah, they're like a short, like a half fantail almost.
Yeah. They look and they work real well. You see it? And these birds are behaving real well tonight. I had them in a widowhood basket. You see, soon I dropped them in. They had a dump. They're actually, if you got a show fantail, they just sit on the board. These things here, yeah. Let's see what I got here now.
Well, there you guys see it. Mike Vanderyak says, I used to wean the powder youngsters with the young birds and leave them with them all season. Well, there you go. You can do that. There you guys go. We did a little show and tell here tonight, which just makes it fun. We kind of went on all different directions tonight on the show, but some shows will be like that. We're going to talk a little bit more about breeding, but we kind of went, I don't know, tonight we went on some different ones. What do you guys think of those Russian tumblers? They're actually quite neat with the tails like that. Mike Vaniak says he learned his flock and look after them well. Yes, he does. Mike Green says you have to take the time to train your droppers. Well, yes, you do have to. If you want them to do it good, you better put some work in. You can't just expect them to do it. They got to be a little bit trained to do it. Once they get the training in, then you're away to the races. But as you see there,
Now I'm very amazed how relaxed these birds are in this show cage here. So now I'm going to bring in this is a show fantail.
mm-hmm.
And these are only good if you want to put them on the board, and that's it. They don't fly; they just stand around. Your bird's got to get accustomed to it. She's not the best in the tail, but see what I mean? But just put that on the board. If your birds are used to it, they see that pigeon standing on the board and they feel comfortable. That cock there, he's getting alive. You see the fantail?
He's kind of in the middle. You got a lot of birds now in the cage, but yeah, we can kind of see. They'll move around.
So I mean that's and then did you show the video on the nesting material, the weeds?
Well, you're gonna have to refilm that because you got to focus on filming what you're filming, and you have the camera filming your face. Well, I'm gonna teach you
Really?
how to do it the other way. Yeah,
No, I had different pictures of nests
right.
of the
Well,
nest.
oh yeah, the
Oh,
tail on
these
that one's real good.
yeah, she's got a screwed up tail, but hey, we're having fun, eh?
Yeah. Well, Ricky,
So
we've been
yeah,
we've been on for an hour and 39 minutes, and I think we're gonna wrap her up.
okay. You don't want to see more? I tell you, I got another hour of birds I can bring out.
Not really. It's been fun, but we can maybe do it again next week.
They've been behaving real well. I got more out there I can bring out, but I know the people want to go to bed. I know.
Yeah. Well, I can here. You know what? I'll show Ricky's video. You guys have fun with it. Take a look. Here we go. Oh.
Hey, hi folks. It's LMR here. And I show you some videos of birds, early nesting birds that I put down dried weeds. And I pull it for them. I put it in a section. As you'll see in my video, how they nest with them. They Absolutely loved them. Beats straw any day of the week. So we're out here now, and we're kind of like, where do we find these weeds? And I got the camera on me, but I'm going to try and turn it this way. I'm not the best at camera work, but as we can see, these weeds here, these are probably the best that I could use. Dried weeds. And I just take it, pull it off, put it in my 5-gallon pail, right? And then I take it home, throw it in for the birds. And I got the video of how the birds loved them. They just love them. Here's a nice, look at this. Wow. Your birds are gonna love this. My birds will. I don't know if your birds will, but that's what I do.
There you go. Ricky, we've seen a little bit of the weeds and a little bit of everything else, so we got to work on our filming there. So if you turn the camera now back to you, turn it back or back to the birds, whatever you want.
So these birds here, this is like showtime for them. And they're not show quality, but they work.
Well, the main thing is we're not here for show quality. You want to be a show guy, get one of your smocks on and go to the show and sew those stupid patches on them and be a show guy. I'm not into that, and I'm not knocking those guys, but this is for
I thought,
working.
yeah, I thought you had some pictures of the birds nesting with the material that I pulled.
You didn't send me the photos of that, so I don't have what you don't. I can't only show what you give me.
Oh, okay.
So you got to be, next time next time do the video of just focus on turn the camera the right way and film what you're doing, not sideways so we see your face.
Okay, so what you're saying is I'm more of a pigeon flyer or pigeon keeper than a photograph man.
Well, I don't know, but you gotta think about what you're filming and then how to do it. But you're getting there. Look what you did here now. See, you made the focus on the birds. That's good. You did that good. How much do you sell
Okay,
them for, Ricky? Ricky, how much do you sell a pair of droppers for?
190 bucks.
You couldn't just round off to 200. You said, "Oh, okay, guys, 190 bucks."
No, and these are field proven.
Yeah.
I
All
got
right. Well,
more, but
yeah.
I don't know if you guys got time. I got more. I can bring them out.
I only have 12, Ryan, and you said everyone needs 20. LOL. Yeah, Ricky could bring 20 in about 2 minutes there. But anyways, okay, guys.
No, I
I'm gonna
got
wrap.
my
What?
first round of youngsters. They're going to North Carolina. John Mahaffey. He bought my first round of youngsters, and I got them going right now. They're going to be gone. So
All right.
I'm
Well,
just saying.
okay. So you know what we're gonna do, Ricky? We're gonna wrap this up because I've had enough fun for tonight. It's what is it? 4 o'clock here in the
Okay.
morning. So we'll be on again. What's next week? Next week will be the what? The New Year's show? I don't know. We'll be on again next
I don't.
Monday. Check out our
Yeah, I'm
auction
not.
site, guys. Watch what we're going to be doing. I'm going to get to some more interviews. Also, guys, I want you to get your results in. Pigeon Boss Awards. I'll post it up one more time. If you send your results, we're going to put your name into the hat. So we're going to do the drawing. It's the best way to do it all. Maybe you can extend this another week or so. So hey, get involved with that. Ricky, this was a good show tonight. The birds look good. Hopefully you guys had a good time. I did. And Merry Christmas to everyone. Yes, we'll see you next week. Yes, we will see you next week. Merry Christmas to everyone. And we got a special Christmas video that we are going to put out probably tomorrow. So watch that as we go. Ricky, anything else you want to say quickly before I wrap this up?
No, I'm just going to say Merry Christmas. Enjoy, relax, enjoy your birds. And if I can say this little video here of these droppers uh, makes everyone feel like a boy again. Very nice. And look at these droppers. They're not familiar with each other. Oh, those two cocks are fighting, but I'm saying they're very relaxed. Hey,
Okay, they're good.
enjoy, enjoy.
All right, guys. That's Ricky. I'm Ryan. Those are the droppers. You guys have been great. Have a good night. Enjoy your Christmas, and hey, enjoy these Jansons that are coming up. I think you might really like them. Have a good night, guys.
Oh
Be safe.
God, yeah, I watched that video. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, we got the good loft tour coming out on Monicnays as well. So, guys, watch it all. She got 2 videos that we did, and you'll really learn a lot about Jansen. So, check that out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm going to do something. So, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ricky, I'll talk to you later, my friend.
Okay, have a good one. Thank you. Thanks everyone for watching the show. We enjoy your company, your comments. Thank you.
All righty. Bye for now.
Bye.